I had quite a few tragedies happen in a row and found myself over in Brighton with nowhere to live.
Over the years, I'd run up a number of bills.
My mum and my dad were both in the process of passing away, and I'm a single dad.
So I found myself in a position in 2009 where the family unit I was in disintegrated and I had a relationship breakdown, and I ended up becoming homeless.
Found myself at Brighton Council with my daughter saying, look, we've got nowhere to live now.
Because I was now out of work and on pension, I could no longer meet my commitments.
And because of the bipolar disorder, when I was manic, I'd run up a lot of credit card debts.
If you go off to look after your dad, who's dying, you're making yourself intentionally homeless.
In that year I was being hassled non-stop by the creditors.
And it's a struggle because not only are you working, but you're battling with tax credits and child tax credits, and life just becomes a headache.
And one day I just woke up and thought, I've got to do something.
None of us know exactly when we may need the support of legal aid, if we're facing homelessness, if we have crippling debt. Everyone in Brighton should regard this as a matter of the utmost importance.
Got immediate response for an appointment within a day or so.
And it was really good to know there was someone who's going to handle this for me. You know, I didn't realise how busy they are.
I decided I wanted to go for a debt relief order, and so he helped me do all of that.
Every now and then I'd panic and they'd give me a bit of reassurance.
And because of what Nick did for me, I did get sheltered housing.
I've had lots of letters through the post that are very, very thick. And very often one part of that letter is the crucial part I need to read. And it was them who were phoning me up and saying to me, never mind how thick the letter is it got this thing on it? And I'd go, yeah. And they go, right, well that's the bit where we're going to move on with next.
It didn't cost me a penny. And it really has saved my life. In as much as I've not got any savings now, but I can pay my bills every week as they become due.
Early intervention is so important, but that early intervention will be removed from the scope of legal aid.
If there'd have been no help through my bankruptcy, I sincerely believe I'd have ended up, like a lot of people, on the streets.
I'd probably still be in an appeal process.
I probably would have ended up having another relapse and ending up back in hospital.
It's almost like you're asking people to do the most important thing at the time when they're the most vulnerable. You know, you need someone to stand in when people are down, who do know the system. You know, for those of us who even can get our head around it, not when you're in trauma, you can't.
And it's the wider impact it has as well. You know, the impact on my children and really on, you know, my wider family.
I don't think me and my daughter would be together. She's 9. I think myself and my ex-wife are really both supportive of my daughter and my stepson. So she, you know, we wouldn't have wanted my daughter in a situation where I was going from house to house or home to home.
You know, I might have not been well enough to bring up my children, and then I would have cost the NHS a lot of money being in hospital and needing more treatment. And it actually doesn't really bear thinking about.
This is an opportunity for the community as a whole to come together, regardless of political persuasion, to persuade the government of the importance of legal aid so that the most vulnerable people in society can get that legal representation and advice.